Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'm in the TV room, so I don't feel like going to the office to do this video. But Will Smith and Jada. We gonna talk about this Sunday on the podcast, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget, feel free to join the Patreon. The link is in the description box. But I'm gonna just give you some reasons why. I don't really care for choosing sides in this, but I really respect how Will Smith handled himself. Here's why this. They said what was going on in the conversation. What this happened 5 years ago. First of all, people shouldn't be having conversations about other people's relationships. Like, you know what I mean? What you do in your bedroom is what you do in your bedroom, man. I don't know why what people do in their bedroom is like big news. You know what I mean? And I think this video is going to not think this video is going to speak to the maturation of a man. You know, I they said this happened 4 or 5 years ago, and they did what they had to do to go through it. I mean, it's an agreement, and 25 years, what they're doing is working. I repeat, 25 years, what they're doing is important. I think one of the largest components is Will Smith is like, how can you choose a man that's going to embarrass us? You know what I mean? Like, how can you choose a man that's going to embarrass us? Yes, we do what we do, but you chose this emotionally immature man. How could you, you know what I mean? And that's part of the embarrassment. You know what I mean? No one, like, every nigga that do a video is going to say, oh, nigga, that nigga weak. He got cheated on. Listen, no one is immune to the cheating disease, okay? Come on, let's just cut the bullshit out, man. This is real life, okay? Every man is going to get their feelings hurt, okay? Every man is going to go through it at some point, okay? No man is immune from that, right? And so let's just have an open and honest conversation as opposed to being an ego and calling Will weak. But I respect the fact. Here's what, and I'm going to come back to that, but I want to get this point out. Here's what the biggest component is you have to make as a man. What are you fighting for? Are you fighting for the relationship or not? And I just believe in non-ownership of human beings. You know, it's just something that I've lived and abided by my entire life. And I think Will spoke to that in this 13-minute conversation. I be honest with you, I watched it 3 times already. I watched it at the charging station, and I watched it 2 more times at home. I think it takes a unique man to realize that he doesn't own a woman. It takes a unique man to realize he doesn't own a woman's vagina. And I'm gonna speak about this in another video. I'll post it probably tomorrow. But in terms of them, and this video ain't about their parenting and nothing like that. It's about what we see and who they are. Was Will Smith the same person in 1985, 1995, 2005, 2015, and 2020? I saw the same man. I'm just being honest. I saw a very earthy and honest man, you know, and who is Jada? A very firm, assertive woman. She's been that way ever since I've seen her, and man, a long time ago. What was that, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that? I don't know what was the first time I saw her on TV, but she's been that person, you know. And so they were true to form in this video, and I think Will spoke to the development of a man in pressure situations. You know what I mean? I don't think that Yeah, there's some embarrassment. What man? But he went on to protect his woman. That's the most beautiful thing about this is that he went, obviously he has an ego and he has a man, but he went on her show to protect her. That's what's not being said. People are going to see this, some men may see this as weak, flawed, but what they have is what they have. What they have and what you foresee as a deal breaker is not in their relationship. So don't place your Christianic beliefs on Will and Jada. Don't put your Islamic beliefs on Will and Jada. Okay? I think we better focus more on getting heaven on earth as an individual and as a couple, as opposed to trying to place your beliefs upon what your perception of happiness is in their relationship. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. I thought, in my humble opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, I thought he went on to protect her. And obviously he has some ego attached to it because he is a man, and he was disappointed again that, well, how could you date a nigga that that is emotionally immature and that will tell what we do in our relationship? Because he said it in the thing. Will gave him the blessings. So Will is not mad at Jada in this video. He went on to protect his woman. And this is, I thought, how we saw the West Side Story? This is our side of the story. It's a beautiful relationship in terms of them two. I'm not talking about their parenting. I'm talking about them and how they've loved each other for 25 years. And at the end of it, you can tell that they're ride or die. Ruby D and Oz, you know what I mean? And watch the last 10 seconds of that video and you're going to see how they look at each other in terms of admiration, in terms of love. And I think that that's the end of it. They walked off that show together. And I think that's the most important thing. People are going to try and twist it and say any other things. Will's soft, Will's immature, Will is this, Will is that. How many of y'all out there have turned West Side Philadelphia into $1 billion? How many of you have turned Harlem, USA into $1 billion and kept a woman and raised a family for 25 years? So what they're doing is working. Okay? If your barometer is keeping the family together and creating generational wealth, well, they did it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be said about this, but we're going to go live Sunday. Reggie Owens is hosting the show with me Sunday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to rock out and have a great time. We got Raquel Miller coming in Tuesday. And we have Jamie Alexander coming in on Monday. So we got a hot show. And next Sunday, we got Capadonna from Wu-Tang Clan. He'll be in. So it's going to be... So we got a great week coming in. So it's going to be live. There's a lot of manhood components in this. And I love talking about manhood stuff. And but the fact that Will went on the world and talked about this. And then, too, how genius is this? They didn't go to TMZ. They didn't go to wherever else they go. They went on their own platform. They went on what they own and told. So in terms of monetization, in terms of building brand, they did it. You know what I mean? This is a conversation they had 5 years ago. That they're opening to the public. This is a 5-year-old conversation that they've had. You know what I mean? And it's just the reality of it. Obviously they've had bumps and bruises and they've done some things probably because that's just life. But I respect the fact that Will says, you know what? This is not a deal breaker. I love you and I'm going to go on your show to protect you, to protect your image. You understand what I'm saying? Because how and this is why understanding context is so important. Everyone is just going to top on talk about this on the surface, and they have every right to. But this is why this is a grown man channel. You know, we can get down into the abyss. You know what I mean, and have conversations. You know what I mean, with the submarine levels. You know what I mean. So, but yeah, he protected his. In my humble opinion, I believe he protected his woman. And if she doesn't do anything that's not a deal breaker, and then at some point in your life, you have to understand what you're willing to tolerate, what you're willing, what's a deal breaker and what's not a deal breaker. And as you get older, it changes. As you evolve in relationships, they change. Just like you evolve as a man, just like when I was in my 20s, I wanted 22-inch rims. Now shit, I want 19-inch rims. I want the stock rims that it comes with. It's cheaper. I have no desire for 22-inch rims. I have no desire to have a motherfucking bass tube or motherfucking 4 12-inch woofers in my trunk. I have no desire for that. So as those superficial tendencies change, so do relationship intricacies change. So we'll talk about this more on Sunday. I may drop a video tomorrow on this, but I think it's important that we talk about this as a man because this is a topic of conversation that everyone knows about. Whether they choose to talk about it or not, it's totally up to them. But I think this is a great conversation starter to delve into manhood, to delve into raising y'all young motherfuckers on 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 this YouTube platform. So that's where I stand. And y'all have a great Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your night. So now we're gonna and hopefully we all can entanglement and chill tonight. Talk to y'all soon, man. Don't forget to click the Patreon at the bottom. Holla, peace.